So, hello everyone. My name is Ken Smith, and I'm from Resilience Rewards. This is a podcast for community leaders looking for an innovative crowdsourced fundraising option for their community climate resilience projects. This project is led by a team of global experts, myself, Anne Marie, who is a technology expert, Ken Newman, who is a nonprofit expert, very involved in projects throughout the country, Justin, Jonathan, Charlie. We've got a great team of folks here. And through this project, I was actually invited to join the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Steering Committee on Innovation and Climate Resilience Finance. So the work that you're going to see here has been pulled together by this team of experts, and we're very excited to show this to you. Now, this is something that everybody's going to be very familiar with. We're all seeing the numbers, both in terms of the number of storms, the cost of the storms, and severity, et cetera. These costs are projected to continue to go up for the next 10, 20 years. And the challenge ahead is, of course, how are we going to pay for all of the climate resilience projects that we have not only today, but also coming down the line? One of the things that we found through our committee was, first off, federal aid is going to diminish. That really doesn't matter who's in the administration right now, and that's in the US, in the UK, Europe, Asia. Most nations are struggling with the massive dollars involved in terms of climate resilience. This is new spending, it is significant spending, and it is beyond most federal aid. Insurance continues to struggle to deploy a profitable model for themselves in most risk markets, and they simply cannot be counted on in terms of recovering from a major storm. Now, the bigger challenge right now is the bond market. That's the lever that most community leaders are looking to. Floating a bond, the challenge there is the bond market is already saturated. You're not alone. Every community leader is looking to the bond market as a source of capital for climate resilience projects, but that also means unsustainable local debt burden. This is new spending. This is additional taxes that you're going to have to put on your local residents and small businesses. And again, that is just something that is really unsustainable. So on this committee, we began to look at what are the other alternatives, what else is out there that we can possibly tap into as a source of capital that can scale to meet the demand today and tomorrow. And we found one. If you look at consumer spending just in the United States, and as a quick side note, these are US numbers, but the numbers are pretty much true throughout the world. US consumer spending has reached $18.6 trillion. That's a lot of cash flow that we can tap into. Now, many of you may remember the days when you could check a box when you're buying an airline ticket, and that was a $10 carbon offset. But very few people did it because there were so many news articles about it that talked about how carbon offsets were not going to viable projects, they were being squandered, et cetera. So really very few people did it. That was a great tool for engaging the market, but it was a fundamentally flawed project. But what we know is that when we look at this scale of cash flow, if we can present a better product offering, we believe that we can tap into this source for climate resilient spending. And this is what we came up with. We call it Resilience Rewards. You donate to a climate action cause and get instant cash back. Have you ever donated to a charity of any kind and gotten instant cash back? Well, with Resilience Rewards, you make a $10 monthly donation. You get to pick your project. You get instant cash back offers from everybody from Apple to Dunkin' Donuts. And you receive Resilience Rewards points, just like an airline, are good for future travel or shopping. You see all of the brand names there. Our partners have hundreds of different companies that they work with where you can get 1, 2, 3, 5% cash back. And one of my favorite stories that we've actually listed on our website, a member signed up. The following day, she lost her earbuds and went onto the Resilience Rewards app, got herself an Apple gift card for $200, replaced her earbuds, and then had enough money from the cash back to take herself out to Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks for free. So that was a great example of how you're not just asking people to donate, you're actually giving them instant cash back. And as we mentioned, You get to pick your project. You can either support a community in need, like Midland County, Michigan, that recently had severe flooding, Boston that sees high tides very often and severe weather in the wintertime, Miami, Florida, that's seeing backups and flooding just on a normal moon. Everybody remembers the Pacific Palisades fires, the hurricane in Nashville, the flooding in Newport, Rhode Island. Or again, you can pick a local project right when you check out. We're very capital efficient because we're building a tech stack that enables us to scale very rapidly. We can direct 80% of donations to local projects. Now, these projects have to meet our shovel-ready requirements. What do I mean by that? Number one, has to have immediate impact. We do not fund R&D. We do not fund research or planning projects. Once you've gotten all your approvals, once you've gotten all of your community support, once you're ready to put fuel in the tank and start that bulldozer up, that's when we're going to step in. Number two, we want to see measurable results. And by that, we mean economic impact in your community. Number of homes saved times the number of value of homes, commerce over a highway or a bridge. Whatever your value is, we want to make sure that the project that you're working on has a measurable result in terms of economic benefit to your community. And then lastly, we want to make sure that your project delivered lasting benefits. Working with one of our strategic partners, we actually have a toolkit where if we invest more than $1 million in a project, we will spend $50,000 deploying the toolkit that looks at your project and determines whether or not it is on process, you're using proper methodologies, materials, et cetera, contracts, hiring, et cetera. We want to make sure that we're not back here in 10 years' time. We pay for that toolkit. You don't have to for any project that's over $1 million. But again, we want to make sure that we have lasting benefits in terms of all of these projects. And with that, long-term benefits to your community. We deliver debt-free grants directly to the community. We try and keep as many hands out of the pie. We don't want to deal with the states. We don't want to deal with federal agencies. We want to go direct to the community so this money gets to work. And the benefit to you is that lowering of potential tax liability of local residents and businesses, because you might not have to float a bond or might be able to float a smaller bond, or you could actually use some of our funding for debt service on a bond, meaning you're not going to have to raise taxes on local residents. That is long-term sustainable financial value for every community that we work with. With that, let's get to work. Again, my name is Ken Smith. Please go to resilience-rewards.org. Contact us in the top right corner of the screen. Let us know what project you're working on, and let us know that you want to connect with us regarding bringing this project, Resilience Rewards, to your community. Thank you very much for your time.